All right. Hi, this is Attica, and welcome to part 7 and what I think will be our last episode of this playthrough of Railway Empire 2, the Industrial Wonders DLC. We're playing the scenario set in the United States called The Big Concrete. Is that right? No, The Concrete Giant, where we are helping to build the Hoover Dam. And last episode, we sent building blocks to the Hoover Dam and explosives. Both of those were fairly complex food chains, if you will. And we have set up to do the electric components, which is another somewhat complex supply chain. And we've got our wire factory feeding electric components over here in Prim, over here, and let's see. And I think we had just sent steel on the way there. Yeah, we have steel on the way there. And let's see, how's that work? Electronics. You need half a steel and half a copper wire to make almost one full electric component. So, that 8 we sent over will just about, I don't know if it'll actually do it, or, I don't know how they round it up or round it down or how that works, but for sure. But we'll get that done pretty quickly. And sorry, what level? We just got it at level 1. If we bumped it up to level 2, 1 and 1 make almost 2. Okay. We have copper wire. I want to make sure we've got the line. Yeah, we've got this line here. There's some copper wire going over. That's all we've shipped so far, but when the next train comes back, we'll ship some more. I guess that would be the first train, wouldn't it? No. This one is headed to Palm Gardens. So when it gets in, it should, let's just watch it and see. It should pick up some more circuits and take them out there. There we go. All right, so we got that going. I'm ignoring that bonus. The money doesn't matter, and neither do the beans, really. Unless there's another task after this, keep growing, keep growing. Now, I'm thinking we could, I don't think we have an oil refinery yet no, I think we're going to get that oil refinery. Oh, yeah, I think it's right before the car. So we're targeting this so that we can go down here, and this is going to give us gasoline. That'll open up the refinery. Yeah, it says so. Operate refineries. And then the next one after that will give us the ability to manufacture cars. So we've got oil out here, and we've got businesses right here in Jean. We could easily run oil to Jean. It's already, set up for it. Or to Sloan, it doesn't matter that much. Or to, Whitney if we wanted to, and put a refinery in. I'm thinking maybe we do it in Jean, and then we knock down our explosives, which I don't think we need anymore. We could look. I don't think there's still a demand of 4. Now, there's only a demand of 2 at Hoover Dam, right here. They demand 2. So where's the other demand for this? And I don't see a green arrow telling me that there's a demand anywhere. All right, now Oh, that green arrows tell me where it's produced. Oh, here we go. If you hover over it, it points you in a direction. Where? But I don't know what that means. Oh, cities over 65,000 demand explosives, it looks like. So why wouldn't Whitney? Here we go. Yeah, yeah. Whitney demands a little bit. So you can still sell your explosives if you have the line set up correctly. And certainly you can sell them in Boulder, right? Um, and it looks like we can still sell them in Hoover Dam, even though we've satisfied that requirement. Sorry, I don't know exactly how that does work. Somebody put that in the comments. Tell us how that works. Okay. So, yeah. So we just need to keep this research up. And at the very end, I'll go through, we'll kind of do a recap of what good, bad, and ugly about this particular effort. There was everything. I think there was good. I think there was bad, and I think there was just downright ugly a couple of times. Some of that was just being rusty and forgetful or whatever, and just being me, making mistakes. So there's not much to say right now, honestly. So I'll come back when. I mean, do we have anything to say? We could look at this steel mill and make sure. Oh, we got 26 steel here. We got plenty of steel to make electric components. And I don't get where this could possibly have a problem loading the priority item when there's 26 steel in there. There's something funny going on about the loading here that I don't mean to complain about, but allow me to complain. It doesn't make sense. Here, that third right here, there's one that's fairly close to getting down here. I want to see what it does. Why wouldn't it take steel back out there? There we go. It could be the amount of demand. I think that's what it is. And the amount of storage out here. Yeah, that's it. They got plenty of steel here. And I think we have we just ran regular trains, didn't we? And I only have the one train, which seems like silliness to me. I think what I'd like to do is edit this line. And, oh, I see. We've got it running full out of prim, but not necessarily with electric components. So let's just change that, and then let's make it 2 trains so that we can get another one fired up at this end. And look at that. There's 8 electric components. And let's just copy that. Get another one in there. And now we're good. and keep targeting our research. We're going to go down here. All right. I think you can see how this is going to work, so I'll be back. All right. Oh, okay. So there is going to be a deliver passengers to Hoover Dam, but we should be totally set up for that. I guess the only... Do we have anything coming from here? No, we can do that. We can run Hoover... Pick the right one. This White Hills 2 has turned out to be just sitting out there. From White Hills to Hoover Dam. This shouldn't take long to get 800 passengers there. So of course we send mail. So I should have been more diligent there in how I set that up, but there's 120 right there. $80 there. $120 there. And that oil error is just where it's been waiting. All right. I always dread this, especially when we haven't finished something. Let's see how we did.
The dam was nearing completion. Masses of tourists flocked to the area, making the region even richer. It was done. After years of hard work, tireless efforts by everyone involved, and, unfortunately, numerous deaths, the Hoover Dam was finally completed. To this day, it remains a landmark of engineering. Historically, its construction was not only a milestone for the USA, but also a global symbol of innovation and perseverance.
All right, so we got our CEO, a score of 614. We've got one optional task left. So what we will do, of course, we'll play this. We'll keep playing this, get that task done, and then see if that adds anything to our score. I don't think it's going to add a lot, but let's just see how we did. We're in 7th place. Let's see how our friends are doing. Homer, nice. Homer, well done. Homer, yours truly, Just Peter, and Twilly have all finished this, so good on all of you. So I'm going to go back. Not much to say except to go back and finish this off. And I'm just going to I'll let it run until we get that research done. That's the whole point, is to finish the research and get the refinery set up. So I'll let it run until we get that done. Then I'll set up the refinery, and then we'll let it run until we get the refinery and the car will come right behind each other research-wise. Here's 3 stars, and we'll go down here and pick up. Well, we didn't have to wait long. There's the refinery. So we've got oil here. I'm thinking Gene would be a lovely place for a refinery, especially since that's 3, level 2. I'll buy whichever one's cheaper. 8, it doesn't really matter. 8 million. 15 million. Wow. I have a feeling if I buy this and knock it down, that other industry is going to be a lot cheaper. What do you think? All right, so let's demolish this, and we'll put in a refinery. There it is. Well, that one hasn't been there before, has it? If it has, I'm going to be ill. All right, we've got a refinery. Let's get a couple trains from up here, taking the oil down there. I did say run full, didn't I? Yes. A couple trains on that. And have maintenance and make sure they have a supply tower. And we'll start making gas. Oh, do we have more points? Yeah, here we go. Let's get that. And we'll go back now and get the processing speed. So the car industry, let's see what that means. What would it take to make a car? Probably, I would think steel and gas would be a possibilities. And electric components. Where are we making those? We're making electric components in Prim. We'll be making gas here. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Up to you. We're going to buy that inexpensive little fashion industry and knock it down and put our car industry in Gene as well. Okay. And then we're going to set up, well, we should already have line going between Prim and Gene. And I think we'll make this line well, let's put a station right here. Let's run track that's going to go more of a direct shot to Boulder City. In fact, I'm going to stop that and we'll come back here first and make this a 4-wide because it actually has a little bit of a slowdown sometimes over here anyway. I noticed just sitting there watching the game run, killing time. So let's make this a 4-wide. Then we can come out of this one. Make a bit of a beeline for Gene. We can even use, oh, that's the one we just built. Okay. We can even use that station over there. Brilliant. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty good. And let's go ahead and double track that. Over here. And we'll set up a line from Gene 2 to Boulder City. The carrot that has to have 4 cars in it. And whatever coming back, we don't care. And all right, cool. And then this line here, instead of going to Hoover Dam, I want you to go to Gene. And what's the story here? Car factory. Bump it up to level 4, and it needs 2.1 oil, and the oil refinery will bump it up so it's over 2.1, and then that means that we've already got 16 or 8 electric components going in there. So that should do our 4 right there. Yeah. And then what would we want for a frequency on our oil? 4. This is producing 0.5. Okay. Now it's producing much more than that. Look at all this oil. Okay. And what are we missing? Oh, steel. Dummy steel. It'd be nice to use this right here, wouldn't it? So let's go. Let's go Ragtown to Gene 2. Priority Steel. Let me see if I can get that a little better. Yeah, we can easily make that better just simply by going like this. Okay, now let's do Ragtown, Priority Steel, going to Gene. There goes 8 steel. We'll copy it. And there goes 8 more steel. Okay, good. We should be done pretty soon. Here we go. Here we go. There's our 4 cars headed off to Hoover Dam. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, not Hoover Dam, Boulder City. All right, we finished the task. Now let's see if that helped our score any. A little bit, a tiny little increase. Well, it moved us from 7th to 5th, I guess. And we didn't beat Homer. Doggone it. Duh. We didn't beat Homer. That's all right. Good job, Homer. So we got Homer at 4, I'm at 5, just Peter at 15, and Twilly at 22. And I think all of us could do a better job if now that we know how it works. So how many people played it? 119. So I'd want to be in the minimum the top 11. So that's pretty good. I really like the top 5%. So that would be the top 5 or 6, and that's kind of where we are. Is that right? That can't be right. 10% of this would be like 12, and 5% would be, yeah. We're right on that cusp of where I like to be, like that 95th percentile. So pretty good job, I guess, for a first time through. And there's so many. Let's go back through. Let's go back through the things we could do better. Well, one, I love this design. Thought it was very cute, but it was cute, right? And cute's way too crowded in here. And these distances, the other thing to learn about this particular map is these are short distances, so you can't fit a bunch of trains in here. You really can't. So I think what I would do, I would recommend making maybe Boulder City the center of the universe, not Attican, right? And treat it like Copenhagen. In fact, I think just Peter even made the comment as he watches this, it feels like Copenhagen. And I think you could play it like Copenhagen and put, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't play the game a lot. I think it's the last scenario of the base Railway Empire 2 game. You had to grow Copenhagen to 500,000 people, I think it was. And it was just a terrific scenario. This one, I think I would make it Boulder City would be the capital of the world, and you'd have all your stuff coming in here, and even your all your items that you need to found businesses and found cities. I think it would all go to Boulder City, and you just make Boulder City the capital, right? And you'd have a direct line Boulder City to Hoover Dam, and I think you would really have something. And then I think I really do like. Having said that, I really do like what we did over here with White Hills. But imagine if we'd done that from the beginning and this was the center of the universe. And when we founded these cities, we just ran trains out from here through a direct line, I think I would do that. I would also use Amazon Prime. And give me a second. I got to look up who that was. It was Jax, EW Jax. And Jax had done that great study for us comparing One City, One Line and the I even forget what I called it now. Look Mall, No Warehouses, I think I called it. But anyway, he came up with the name Amazon Prime, and it was you have a train dedicated to bringing the city the good that it wants. So like you would have a train in South Terminal dedicated to bringing full loads to White Hills, and another one dedicated to Cyclopic, and another one dedicated to Dolan Springs. And that particular arrangement is the most stable. It's the one that will grow and scale the most easily because trains only run when they need to run, so you don't get so much traffic, and you get the steady flow of goods. So I think I would tend toward an Amazon Prime model, but Amazon Prime can be expensive to set up at the start, and this wasn't so bad. So this was a great start, but you'd almost have to blow it up and do Amazon Prime or some other form or more extensive use of warehouses. Speaking of warehouses, I have to admit, even though I really like the Railway Empire 2 style warehouse where it does the automatic distribution and stuff, because it does also manage the traffic flow by saying, well, we don't need anything just yet, the kind of deal. But I have to say that the old Railway Empire style, a lot of people were complaining that they weren't there. They're here now. They're back, and I really do like them. I'm going to leave that station just to be stubborn. I really do like the addition of this kind of a thing. I thought that was beautiful. And there's ways you could use both of them to your advantage. So I think we did that in this playthrough. And what else? And the other thing, I think the biggest thing, and this may be, I don't know for sure, but this may be true of the other two. If they're going to have something like deliver cars, if we look at the research tree, we started out over in here somewhere, right? And worked our way out. And we had to go all the way to here in order to be able to just do that task, right? So research became more important. But what it really said was beeline your research and just go right down the main track till you get to what you're looking for. Then go back and pick up the ones that are missing. Unless there's something back here that's just crucial for your strategy that you're missing, don't go backwards. Try to go forwards and keep going forwards down the main track, the main items, till you get to the ones that you're looking for. Like in this case, we're here. The cars, you can see it's almost at the end of the food chain. So that makes research more important. And secondly, it also says it'd be good to keep growing your cities and get 90,000 population in more of your cities so that you can add universities to increase the innovation points you're generating every month, right? So, I like that because it seems to me like research is kind of, you do it, but it almost doesn't seem to matter. But with this, if they're going to do these three scenarios like that, it does matter. So this one, I would target my automobile research and just beeline it. Okay, what else? That's probably enough. Other than that, you're just playing the game. I made heavy use of knocking down very expensive industries and putting other expensive industries in their place. Kind of abused the fact that I had a lot of money. I do think the game is actually easier in a way because when I found that, well, that's not a good example here. When I found that coal, I own that coal, right? So you can actually start making money from the coal, or in our case, losing money. Now, why are we losing money? Because in that particular case, because we didn't have a big enough supply chain of stuff to get. To use more of the coal and make profit on it. Now, the other thing you could consider is build 2 or 3 cities and do everything in those 2 or 3 cities, right? We could have, like Boulder City, we could have knocked down those building blocks and had a spot for a level 5, whatever we wanted, like an automobile factory. I didn't want to put it in the city because I was afraid it would be, that wouldn't count as transporting, although I think it probably would. Does anybody know that? Can you put your car industry in Boulder City, and does that count toward I think it probably does. That's my guess. Anyway, I totally enjoyed playing that. I think it's a great DLC. Definitely some flaws. They need to fix the manual loading. That absolutely doesn't work. They need to look at the intercity transfer between warehouses. Could not get that to work, and that's why the station's just sitting there as a monument to that problem. Couldn't get that to work, so maybe that's opportunity improvement. and a couple loading. There was a very strange loading thing out here with the cement where a train was stuck on 6 and just wouldn't keep going. That needed to be addressed. But otherwise, it's solid code, if you will. It seems to run well, and I loved it. I really loved the complex, the byproducts being used as an input to another industry. So I think that's great. And I loved founding the rural businesses. I thought that was pretty cool too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you saw something that'll help you become a better player. I hope you'll like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join us for our next Railway Empire 2 video. Thank you.